Welcome back to Arbitress YouTube channel. So I made the tutorial on how to make this beautiful bubu, and you all asked that I drop a tutorial on how I made my turban as well. So in this tutorial I'm going to take you through how I cut and sew the turban cap that I paired with the bubu. This is something you like to learn. Kindly stay tuned to the end of this tutorial. Thank you. So I'm going to be using a raw silk fabric for this, and I'm going to have a touch of velvet sequence as well. So for this I'm using, I want the band to be a multiple crisscross design. So I want it to have three crosses on each side. So for that I'm going to go ahead and cut out my fabric. The fabric measures 4 inches by 17 inches. Okay, the 17 inches is in excess. By the time I'm done, I'm going to trim it out. So once you measure your 4 inches by 17 inches, just like you have it like this, you are going to fold it. But the sequence that is going to be the base, make sure that the part that is going to be facing your head is the part with velvet, so that it's not going to hurt the head. So once you do that, you can see how I'm placing them on each other. So you start crossing them against each other in a way that the sequence will appear, then your raw silk will appear. It's not going to be directly on each other. I hope you understand what I'm saying. You don't want the sequence to be on the same side, so we are going to be interchanging them to form this crisscross. So the way I'm laying it, you can see how I'm laying it. That's how you lay it. Once you lay the first one, you leave space to have like a place before you lay the next one on it. So once you do that, you're going to go ahead and sew it. So you can sew the two together first before placing the last one, and then you will sew. So I'll take mine to the sewing machine and sew. Then after that you're going to bring the fabric for your cap. Okay, that's the fabric for my cap. For that you're going to need to measure around your head. So you can see that I have sewn mine. Once you sew it, you trim off the excess. Then you're going to bring the fabric for your cap. Mine measures 24 inches by 12 inches. Then you're going to notch it and place that notch. You notch it at the center. Then you're going to place the notch against that V, exactly where you have the V. Then you can pin it down and sew. So I've gone ahead to sew mine. Once you sew it, you will sew the end just like that. And then when you sew it, you are now going to gather them with your running stitch. I have a detailed tutorial on that, so if you don't understand it, you can watch that. So for the twist design that you have, you are going to use your fiber. For me, I use fiber, but you can also use foam to have it padded just like we have. And this fabric measures 35 inches by 26 inches. Okay, 35 by 26. So on the 35 inches, that's going to be the width. That's what you are going to use to cut out your fiber as well. So for my fiber, I cut out 33 inches so that I can have space on each end. So you can see how I'm folding it. So before you start folding, you're going to mark out 1 inch, and then you're going to sew on that 1 inch. So you can see I put my fiber inside, and I folded this by 1 inch. So and I sew on that 1 inch. So the excess, that's what I'm pinning up, so that it will not disturb the rest that I want to do. So once you pin it up, where you have your seam, there you are going to mark another 1 inch, just like I am marking. So once you mark it, you make it into a straight line, and then you bring another fiber or foam. The fiber is 33 inches, remember. So you are going to bring in another fiber, then you are going to tuck it inside. Where you are marking is the right side of your fabric, then where you're going to put your fiber is the wrong side. Just like that, you're going to put it on the wrong side, and then you're going to fold it over. So when you are folding it, make sure that your fiber did not, it will stop at where that 1 inch mark, because that's where you're going to be sewing. So once you fold it, you're going to go ahead and sew it. You can see how they are laying on each other. Once you sew the second one, you repeat the same process. You're going to mark 1 inch from where your seam line is. You are going to make it into a straight line, just like we did for the first one. Then you are going to bring your fiber. So you are marking on your right side. When you want to put the fiber, you are going to turn it to the wrong side, and then you are going to fold the fiber to it, making sure that your fiber did not get to that 1 inch allowance. Okay, you can see your fiber will not get to that 1 inch allowance. Then you're going to be sewing on that 1 inch. So I've gone ahead to sew it, and I did 4. So when you do 4, that 1 inch that we pinned down, you are going to remove it so that it will be free. Then you are going to be sewing the allowance together. You are not sewing that foam. Okay, you're going to be sewing your allowance, that 1 inch allowance, and the excess that you have after you have done all the fiber, the excess that you have, you are going to take them together and sew. So once you sew it like that, you are going to trim it off. Please don't sew on your fiber. You are only sewing the two excess, that's the 1 inch that we started with, that we pinned down, and then the excess, whatever excess that you have after creating all these fibers, whatever excess that you have, you are going to take the two together, you are going to sew, and then you trim. So when you trim it up, you are going to fold this like that, so that it's going to cover up that part that you sew. So you make sure that they are laying on each other like this, and that's what you are going to have. So you create two of these, because we are doing a crisscross. So you are going to create two. Mine, that's the second one for me. Okay, I have two of it. The next thing now is to start forming that design on our, that's how it's going to be. It's going to be crossing like that, but it's easier to form the design on your dummy head so that you get it well. So now once you get it, you're going to put that design on fold. Make sure that you note the center point. You can see that I use chalk to mark mine. That center point, you are going to place it at the center of your cap. It's easy to know the center of your cap because it has a V shape. Now when you fold this, you have 8 layers, 4 each. Okay, now we want it to be 6. So in order for it to be 6, the first one you are going to push it inside, and then the last one as well, you are going to push it inside. You can see I'm pushing it inside. The first layer, the first fiber, you push it inside for the first one. Then the last one as well, you are going to push it inside before you bring the 4. For the second one, the 4 is going to be outside to give you that 6 layers. But for the first one, before you fold it, the first and the last, they are going to be inside, so that when you place it like this, you have 1 2 3 4 5 6. You can see what we have there. Please don't get confused. Before you fold them to get your midpoint, remember they are just 4 each. So that's 6. Once you have your 6, you can now tack them down, or you use your gum. I used gum to hold mine together. So when you're putting your gum, make sure that it is inside, and then you leave enough space at that midpoint to insert your crisscross before you gum it. So now you can see that I have brought out the second one. I've brought out the second one, and then I'm crossing it against it. So that one too will have 4 each, just like this one to add 4 and then we reduce it to 6. So that one too will have 4 each, but for that we are going to be creating like a pleat. So you are going to turn it, make sure that the fiber is facing you, and then you start pleating it like that. So you will not lay them directly on each other, you make them form like pleats. So once you are sure of the pleats that you have, you go ahead and gum it down. Even if you're going to tack, it's going to be easy for you to quickly use your gum to hold it down first, then you can tack later. So now at this point, you have to make sure that they are looking good. You use your hand to tack them, to arrange them very well. You can see that I have applied gum on mine, and they're already staying in place for me. So that second hand, you are going to bring it together like that, and then you are going to sew it. I forgot to mention that for the other side as well, after forming your pleat, you sew. You can see I've sewn that one too. It's going to be easy to sew because remember the fiber was 33 inches, so the fiber did not get to the end. So you are going to go ahead and sew it, and then you take it to the back. So when you get it to the back, you are going to cross them on each other, and then you are going to use your machine to sew them together so that they can be one piece. If your machine cannot sew it, you are going to use your hand to do that. So that part, we are going to be tacking it later. So once you sew it, you place it back on your mannequin, and you can see, so I'm counting that part, and I have 6 just like I want it. And you make sure that that knot is at the center of your cap. So you can see I've tacked those ones together so that it can be firm. You have to tack it so that it can be firm, and that's the back also. I have gone ahead to sew them together. So this is what I have so far, and it's looking good to me. So the next thing now is to find a way to close that rough edge that you have at the back. You are going to close it. So to close the rough edge at the back, we are going to be cutting a piece of fabric. Mine measures 10 inches by 10 inches. Okay, I don't have enough fabric, that's why I joined. So once you go to, you are going to sew it on that point, and when you sew it, you are going to turn it out. So you remove that one. Remember, we've not tack them together. So the excess that we have there, you are going to cut it off, and then you turn that one that you want to use to cover the rough edge. So you can see I'm cutting off the excess, and I've turned that to the right side. So once you turn it, you are going to place it like that and take it to your sewing machine to sew. So once you sew it, you can see I've sewn it. I'm going to trim it off, and then after trimming it off, to conceal the rough edge, you are going to fold it like this, so that the neat part is going to be outside and the rough part will be inside. So when you fold it over like that, you will see that it is neat. So at this point, when you have covered all those rough edge, you can now bring in your gum again and then use it to tack them together, or you use your needle and thread. Just make sure that that rough part is covered, so you can see now that the back is looking neat. So once you are done with that, you're going to bring your cap again and then place it on it, and then you tack them together. So this is what you're going to have. I hope you enjoy making this beautiful tutorial with me, and if you want to learn how I made the bubu as well, it's uploaded on the channel.